How to learn self-defense. Self-defense and fighting. You have to know how to fight in order to defend yourself. However, fighting is not self-defense. That is to say, you must have fighting skills to be able to defend yourself or someone you love if you are assaulted. Self-defense implies that you are defending yourself in a situation in which you are not the aggressor. You're jogging and someone tries to grab you. You're walking with your significant other and someone tries to rob you. You are the target of a carjacking attempt. You are attacked because of your race, gender identification, religion or other such hate-inspired motivation. These are all instances in which you would be defending your life as opposed to utilizing fighting skills-based aggression or ego. In a way, the definition and perspective of self-defense training has been skewed by the meteoric rise in popularity that sport fighting and martial arts-based competition has seen over the past decade. Particularly mixed martial arts as a sport and competitive endeavor. There's a perception that these competitions are what martial arts and self-defense training are, or should be aiming to achieve. A mixed martial arts fight or boxing match, or kickboxing fight, or grappling competition, is not intended to showcase self-defense. It's consensual combat and the competitors are engaging with the goal of winning a prize of some sort, be that money, a medal, an improved record, etc. This difference between fighting back and initiating leads to differences in training mentality when comparing self-defense and fighting. There are of course some intangible skills and abilities that have to be developed and kept sharp in order to successfully defend yourself. Striking. A Krav Maga worldwide student must know how to use punches, kicks, knees and elbows in order to make physical damage to someone else. Krav Maga worldwide teaches these techniques and reinforces them in every class, at every level. The level of technical complexity involved in striking becomes increasingly high as students progress through the system. A baseline level of striking ability is a must in order to deal with any self-defense situation because Krav Maga worldwide self-defense teaches students to use aggressive counterattacks in order to neutralize an attacker. The end goal being to get away from the attacker and the situation altogether. Grappling. Krav Maga worldwide students learn fundamental grappling techniques that apply to real-world threats like getting grabbed by the arm or wrist, getting grabbed in a bear hug, put in a headlock, how to defend takedown attempts, how to escape from underneath someone if a fight hits the ground, and more. These sorts of techniques are amazing to see in action and take years and years of training to perfect and to make into what is basically an art form. They are however not really practical when looked at from the viewpoint of Krav Maga worldwide self-defense. Endurance. Hand-to-hand combat is physically exhausting and taxing. Look at the physical condition that most mixed martial arts and sport fighting athletes are in. They are able to fight for a set of predetermined periods of time, or rounds, over and over again. Krav Maga worldwide students don't have to be in that kind of physical shape in order to successfully defend themselves but having enough endurance, again a baseline level, that will give them the ability to sustain their self-defense efforts. Awareness. Krav Maga worldwide self-defense teaches situational awareness and gives students the knowledge to be able to avoid a physical danger if possible. It's this mentality that really differentiates self-defense from fighting. Training in self-defense is training to respond tactically and aggressively if X happens. This is because, out in the world or on the streets, if you get into a fight, it's more than likely that someone is going to get hurt. Even if you win, you are probably going to sustain some sort of damage. Training like this, to realize that you are reacting and defending, instills a heightened sense of awareness in students. Is it better to train for self-defense or is it better to train for fighting? If you are seriously motivated to learn these sorts of skills and apply them in competition, you should be training at a gym that is cranking out amateur and pro fighters. A reputable and well-established fight training facility will have the knowledge, connections, management, and contacts needed for you to achieve your goal. Training at a fight training facility will have the same sort of positive impact on your fitness and your abilities as training at a self-defense gym. There is really no way to define which sort of training is better other than based on what your own personal goals are.